Michelle Yu. Now, the Eclipse Award finalists were announced, and no surprise, Michelle, with the apprentices, Victor Carrasco, Manny Franco, and Ed Gazayas. All did superbly, I think, this year in their apprentice year. You know, we have stakes victories across the board, including some traded stakes. I think that either of the three most deserving. You know, there's some years that you really have one standout apprentice, so you have three that are all kind of below the radar. In this situation, you have three that were all, I think, at the forefront of the jockey standings. Now, originally, Penn National was supposed to be running, and Victor Carrasco was supposed to be riding. Victor took off because he's got the flu, and Penn National cancelled, so we have the next best thing. Victor's agent, Mr. Tom Stift, on the phone. Tom, how you doing?
Hey, how you doing, Zoe?
I'm very well. Now, Tom, the last time we actually showed a picture of you, you were in the hospital recovering from hernia surgery on the phone with your iPad, booking mounts for your jock. How are you feeling now?
I'm a little bit better now. It's been a few weeks. I go for my follow-up tomorrow, but yeah, I ended up in the hospital for a week or so after that. A lot better now.
Well, good. How excited were you to be nominated, or your jock nominated, to be one of the finalists this year? They've got a quick picture of you in the hospital. Back to this real quick, Tom. Did the nurses wonder what was going on when you came out of anesthesia? Did they come tell you can't use your phone in the hospital?
I think they wanted to send me to Gamblers Anonymous. I think they thought I was gambling. I had to explain to them I was actually working.
We'll touch on Victor. He was nominated. He mentioned in a press release earlier that he only found out by watching HRTV earlier on today. Did you find out then with him at the same time?
Yeah, well, actually, I had to go program the TV in the jocks room for him so he could watch it. I said, look, it's going to come on. So they were all sitting around the jocks room at Laurel watching it. So that was kind of neat.
Tell us, going into the year, Victor did say that, you know, this has always been the forefront of his mind, somewhat of a goal. Did you guys sit down together and kind of plan out the best way to achieve this goal of being nominated?
Yes, we started off, and, you know, after the first month or so, and the way he works, just he never takes a day off and never stops, never complains. And, you know, I realized we had a shot, and I explained what he's going to have to do, and he said, yeah, I don't care. You put me on anywhere, I'll go. International, I'll drive, and that's the way he did. And we moved around with the business. Like, we could probably, if we would have stuck at Pimlico, we could have been leading rider, but we moved because we had business of Delaware, and we stayed with our farms. And then at Delaware, I told him, don't worry about it. And at Delaware, we were one-off leading rider. I said, look, don't worry about it, you know, because we have Maryland. I said, as long as we get a shot to win the Eclipse, that's all that matters. And so the end of the year came together just like, you know, like we planned it.
Tom, how tough is it for you as a jock's agent? Because obviously up there in Maryland, you can move around a lot. How many condition books do you have in your hand at any one time? I mean, you're riding day and you're riding night. How do you juggle it all?
Well, actually, we used to have to carry all the books, but now I use it all on an iPad. So I've got all the books on an iPad, so I just have to carry the iPad everywhere.
You guys had a really stellar end to the fall meet here at Laurel. How was it to just go kind of a win every single day, I think, the last 23 days?
It was actually, it was very stressful. That is true. But it was fun. I'm sure Victor was having fun, but I had a lot of stress.
And Tom, you've been a jock's agent for a number of years, and I mean, he graduates from a jock school that's very, very famous. In fact, the other two Eclipse Award finalists, Manny Franco and Ed Gazayas, come from the same jock school. How did you two meet, and how did you become to be his agent?
Well, actually, Juan Vasquez was looking for a rider, for a bug rider, and we were watching, and we were actually watching together, and he picked out Victor and said, look, watch this kid ride at Tampa. We watched him ride a couple races, and called down there and got him to come up, and that's actually how we hooked up.
Talk a little bit about the partnership that goes on between, I mean, you know, when we're talking to you about the Eclipse Award and Victor, you know, continuously say we. It's really such a relationship. I don't think a lot of people that aren't familiar with the backside understand how deeply something like that is forged.
Yes, and it's not easy. It's not like every agent has that relationship or with their rider, and it's not as often as you think. But once you get that karma with your rider, things really roll, and you're a team, and you work together, and everything seems to fall in place.
How's your karma with the trainers? Which trainers have really stuck by you over the course of the last year, Tom?
Well, we couldn't have done it like Juan. He helped us out a bunch, and like Scott Lake and Hugh McMahon and Rudy Rodriguez. You know, and you can't do that well without them working with you. And when they put you on horse, say, if you can write something better, that's not a problem. Without them letting you move around, you know, you can't do that good.
What would a win mean for not only you as a Jocks agent, but young Victor as well?
Pardon me?
What would a win, an Eclipse Award win, mean for you and your jock?
Oh, it's for Victor, you know, that's something he's going to have his whole life, and I'll feel the same way. It's, you know, it's just a lot of work that we started a year ago, and it's all coming together, and it's going to be, I'm very proud of Victor for all the work he's done, and I'm excited about getting it with him.
I feel like I watched him win the entire year long. I mean, covering the races every day, you get to know all these names. I was actually surprised to see that the Nellie Morse was his first stakes win. What was the emotion like after that?
Oh, it was great because, you know, Rudy stuck with him and used him even though he still had the bug. And he'd actually won a stake at Delaware, and there was some bumping towards right at the last couple jumps at the wire, and it was a very long in-court, and they took him down and it felt horrible for him. But, you know, it all comes back around.
What kind of a kid is he? I mean, what's he like, and how has he handled all this early success? Do you think he's got a good head on his shoulders?
He's the same kid that I met a year ago. He's just always with a smile on his face, and, you know, there's not too many riders like that have that work ethic.
It's one thing to come into a barn when you have a journeyman rider, when you bring a kid from, that's not only an apprentice, but an out-of-town apprentice. How do you approach the trainers? Like, hey, you have to see this kid?
It's a little bit of that, but I'll tell you what, Victor's so good, I pretty much just point him to a barn, and he goes in there and does the sailing himself. And then I just follow up, but he's very, very personable.
How's he feeling? I know you said earlier he took off because he had the flu. Is he okay?
Today's the first day he's taken off the whole year, and he worked 7 horses this morning, and he tried to ride, and he just, you know, he called me from the jock's room, and I went over and talked to him. He goes, look, I'm going to try one more. I said, Victor, take off if you're sick. Don't worry about it. I think he was worried I was going to get upset.
Do you think he plans on riding tomorrow just so we can already, like, mark in our changes?
Yeah, I just talked to him about 15 minutes ago, and he said he's planning on riding, and we'll see what happens. He's actually been sick for about 4 or 5 days, so he's coming off of it and not just starting. So hopefully he'll be good enough to ride tomorrow. But it's not fair to the trainers if he's not 100% to be able to ride either.
Important question. Buy a tux or rent one?
I rented one, actually. It'll be the first time I wear one. I got all measured, and I got to pick it up down in Florida next week with Thursday.
Well, Tom, best of luck to you. Thanks for joining us, and hopefully you come back with a big shiny
We're on the same flight.
next weekend.
No, thanks for all your support.
No problem. Tom Stift, a great guy, and he's really done a super job with the young agent, and that's what you need when you try and plan to get an Eclipse Award for an apprentice jockey. You need a plan.
Yes, and that's something that I think a lot of people
I was just
oh, we just
thinking
kind
that. I
of
was
fell
thinking
into
I was
it.
fired
That's
about
not the
that
way to
one
go
because
about
I
it.
was
Have a
doing
plan,
the
have a
rock
goal,
ones
and
and
see what's the best way to go about it. I love that you talked about, you know, we had an option to stay at Pimlico and be leading rider, or follow these guys around that could help us get towards the Eclipse Award, and that's what they opted to do.
And, you know, I think when he does finally lose his bug, he'll have absolutely no problem. He's a good young rider with a good head on his shoulders, which in this day and age is probably more important.
Far between.